In the shadows of history, two masters decoded the deadly game of power. While you sleep, others pull the strings. While you trust, others calculate. While you hope for fairness, they architect your downfall. Tonight, I'll reveal the 8 forbidden laws that separate rulers from servants, secrets both Machiavelli and Sun Tzu discovered, but disagreed on fatally. Sun Tzu believed honor could coexist with victory. Machiavelli proved honor is victory's greatest enemy. Sun Tzu taught winning without fighting. Machiavelli revealed why sometimes you must destroy completely. By the end of this video, you'll know which master's path leads to true dominance and which leads to noble defeat. The question is, are you ready to choose darkness over light? Niccolo Machiavelli didn't just write about power, he dissected the human soul and found its darkest mechanics. For 5 centuries, his forbidden knowledge has been the secret weapon of rulers, CEOs, and those who shape reality itself. But 2,000 years before Machiavelli, Sun Tzu had already decoded the invisible wars that rage around us. His art of war became the hidden curriculum of Chinese emperors, Japanese samurai, and now Silicon Valley titans. Napoleon carried Sun Tzu's teachings through Europe. Corporate executives quote him in boardrooms. Military academies worship his strategic genius. Yet when these two masters of power clash, only one philosophy can reign supreme. Most people live as prey, dancing to melodies they cannot hear, controlled by forces they refuse to acknowledge. But you're different. You sense the hidden currents. You're ready to see what others fear to face. Drop this in the comments, Team Machiavelli or Team Sun Tzu. Which master's path will you choose? Like this video if you're ready to claim dangerous knowledge. Subscribe to join the ranks of those who see beyond the veil. Share this with someone ready to ascend beyond ordinary existence. Picture this: a candlelit study in Florence, papers scattered, ink still drying on the prints. Outside, chaos and rebellion. Machiavelli pauses not from fear, but calculation. Meanwhile, in a distant temple, Sun Tzu's disciples meditate by water, listening for war in the ripples. One shapes reality through control, the other through harmony. Mini tactic. Before your next decision, strategic, personal, or emotional, ask, am I writing like Machiavelli or listening like Sun Tzu? Try balancing both. Speak less in chaos, act more in silence. Power often comes from what's withheld, not what's declared. Because awareness itself is the first rebellion. Once you see the game, you can never go back to sleep. Sun Tzu declared, all warfare is based on deception. Machiavelli laughed coldly. Deception? That's merely the opening move. True power lies in making your victims grateful for their own destruction. The naive believe in transparency. They show their cards, expecting honesty in return. They reveal their weaknesses, hoping for compassion. They trust first, verify never. This is why they lose. Sun Tzu believed you should only wage war through necessity as a last resort. But Machiavelli understood something darker. Life itself is warfare. Every conversation is a battlefield. Every smile hides an agenda. Every friendship contains the seeds of betrayal. Machiavelli observed princes and peasants alike. He saw how the powerful maintained their grip, not through strength alone, but through strategic concealment. They revealed only what served their purpose. They appeared weak when they were strong, generous when they were calculating. When we are able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must appear inactive. Sun Tzu taught. But Machiavelli added the psychological layer: you must believe your own performance. The greatest deceivers convince themselves first. Your first law: master the art of strategic ambiguity. Never reveal your full hand. Never expose your complete intentions. Keep others guessing, wondering, analyzing. In this uncertainty, you find your power. But here's what neither master taught you. There's a third level of deception that transcends both philosophies. I'll reveal it in Chapter 5. For now, comment below. Deception is survival. If you agree with this law, or truth builds trust if you think transparency wins long term. Imagine walking through a candlelit throne room. Two advisors whisper behind silk curtains. One smiles, the other listens. You can't tell who holds the knife. That's the theater Machiavelli lived in, where truth wears masks, and loyalty is just another illusion. Mini tactic. This week, when someone asks your opinion, pause 3 seconds longer than usual before answering. Let silence become your disguise. The longer you wait, the more power shifts toward you. Silence breeds speculation, and speculation breeds control. Every time you speak less, you teach others to fill the silence with their own insecurity. That's when you begin to see who they really are. Deception isn't about lying. It's about learning which truths to reveal, and when. Sun Tzu taught that to control your enemy, you must give him options that all lead to your desired outcome. Hold out baits to entice the enemy, feign disorder, and crush him. Machiavelli refined it. Don't just control the options, control the illusion of freedom itself. The masses crave the feeling of autonomy. They want to believe they are choosing their destiny. The powerful know this. They manufacture the narrative, limit the variables, and let others pick from prearranged paths. That's how governments, corporations, and leaders control without force. They make obedience feel like independence. Most people think rebellion is refusing orders. True rebellion is seeing the structure behind them. Sun Tzu manipulated space and timing. Machiavelli manipulated perception and emotion. Both understood the mind's greatest weakness, its need to feel in control. Your second law: engineer illusions. When you need cooperation, offer others choices that always serve your hidden goal. In negotiation, in leadership, in relationships, give 2 doors, both leading to your design. People will walk willingly into your outcome, believing it was their will. Comment below. Freedom is a design. If you see how deep this manipulation goes, or free will is real, if you believe choice still exists. Visualize an ancient courtyard. Sun Tzu stands before a map of battle positions, moving tokens with precision. Machiavelli, in contrast, stands before a crowd, smiling as they argue over 2 laws he wrote himself. Both command outcomes not by force, but by invisible architecture. Mini tactic. The next time you present an idea or request, frame it as 2 favorable options. Say, would you prefer to do it today or tomorrow? Instead of, can you do it? Control the frame, not the person. Influence begins with the architecture of choice. Because real dominance doesn't scream commands, it whispers options that sound like freedom. Once you see how the illusion works, you can never unsee the strings. Sun Tzu believed perception creates victory before the first strike. Appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend. March swiftly to places where you are not expected. Machiavelli took that principle and inverted it. He turned perception into manipulation. He realized that power isn't about reality. It's about belief. Appear virtuous, and you can be ruthless. Look confident, and you'll be followed even when lost. Reputation becomes armor. Myth becomes shield. The weak chase truth. The powerful design appearances. They know perception isn't reflection, it's projection. You don't need to be great. You need to look inevitable. Both masters understood this, but Machiavelli wielded it as psychological warfare. Men judge more by the eye than by the hand, he wrote. For everyone can see you, but few can touch you. Your third law: craft your legend before reality catches up. Build an image that leads your actions, not the other way around. When perception becomes your ally, even failure looks like strategy. Drop in the comments. Image is armor if you use appearance as leverage, or truth over illusion if you believe power should be earned, not performed. Picture a vast hall of mirrors. Sun Tzu studies reflections, seeking clarity through observation. Machiavelli, however, adjusts the mirrors themselves, bending light, altering angles, forcing others to see what he wants them to see. That's the subtlety of perception. Whoever shapes the lens controls the reality. Mini tactic. Before your next social interaction, craft your energy posture. Choose one dominant perception, calm authority, detached confidence, or silent danger. Let your presence broadcast it before you speak. The mind perceives tone before words, energy before logic. Every room you enter is a battlefield of perceptions. Those who walk in, aware of their aura, command it. Those who don't get defined by others. Remember, you don't win by proving who you are. You win by controlling who they think you are. Sun Tzu taught efficiency. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Machiavelli turned that lesson into currency. He knew power operates on scarcity. Give too much, you lose value. Reveal too often, you lose mystery. Help too freely, you become disposable. The wise conserve their influence like gold, spending it only where it multiplies. Every word, gesture, or favor is an investment in perception. When you speak less, your silence gains weight. When you appear rarely, your presence grows in demand. Sun Tzu managed the economy of force. Machiavelli managed the economy of attention. Both understood that what is abundant becomes cheap. Power, like water or fire, needs containment to hold form. Your fourth law. Create scarcity around your energy. The more accessible you are, the less magnetic you become. The more you withhold, the more others crave your presence. Be seen just enough to stay unforgettable, but never so often that you become familiar. Comment below. My energy has value if you protect your presence, or I give freely if you believe abundance builds strength. Picture this. Sun Tzu measures his army's rations, every grain accounted for. Across the centuries, Machiavelli stands in a Renaissance court, withholding a single letter that could change the fate of a duke. Both men master the same law, control distribution, and you control dependence. Mini tactic. This week, delay one reaction, one favor, or one reveal. Make others wait. Let silence, patience, and timing become your currency. The delayed response trains both your mind and others to see your attention as scarce and therefore powerful, because energy spent too easily loses gravity. Every word you hold back becomes a silent form of control. Remember, power doesn't fade when you retreat. It compounds. Sun Tzu mastered control through understanding. Know your enemy and know yourself, and you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Machiavelli, however, mastered control through engineering emotion. He realized you don't need to know people, you need to design their feelings. Fear binds faster than loyalty. Desire distracts better than reason. Control isn't maintained by force. It's maintained by rhythm, knowing when to give hope and when to take it away. The powerful lead not through logic, but through emotional choreography. Sun Tzu moved armies through anticipation. Machiavelli moved hearts through tension. Both created predictable behavior through invisible levers. Most people react, masters orchestrate. Your fifth law. Control emotion before you command action. Whoever manages emotional tempo owns the battlefield. Whether it's a kingdom, a manager's, relationship, or your own mind. Comment below. Emotion obeys strategy if you control your reactions, or feelings rule if you believe emotion should guide your path. Picture Sun Tzu walking beside a calm river. tracing ripples to read human intent. Across centuries, Machiavelli stands in a burning courtyard, watching flames consume old alliances. Both understand the same truth. The one who shapes emotion shapes destiny. Mini tactic. Before entering any conflict, verbal or emotional pause and lower your heartbeat. Breathe once for clarity, twice for detachment, and speak only on the third. That delay flips the dynamic. You become conductor, not participant. When you master your tone, others feel your control before they hear your words. Control doesn't demand dominance, it demands composure. Sun Tzu said, "If you are calm in the midst of chaos, you will confuse the enemy." Machiavelli went further. He believed detachment was not just a strategy, but a weapon. To him, emotion was weakness disguised as virtue. He observed that those who react first lose first. Those who love too openly suffer most. The calm mind terrifies manipulators because it cannot be steered by guilt or flattery. Detachment is not coldness, it's control. It's not heartlessness, it's precision. Sun Tzu detached to think clearly, Machiavelli detached to rule ruthlessly. Both understood. If you want power, your emotions must serve you, never the other way around. Your sixth law. Detach not to escape, but to command. The one who observes calmly in chaos always sees what others miss. Comment below. Stillness is power if you've learned to hold your emotions, or feeling is strength if you believe vulnerability has its own form of courage. Imagine Sun Tzu seated by a still pond, reflecting the moon's glow across calm waters. His soldiers wait for his signal, yet he moves not a muscle. Miles away, Machiavelli stares from a castle window as rebellion burns in the city below, his eyes calm, his pulse steady. Two masters, two silences, one power. Mini tactic. When anger rises or anxiety tightens your chest, shift your focus to the texture of your surroundings. Feel the air on your skin, the sound in the distance, the rhythm of your breathing. This anchors the mind and reclaims command from emotion. The detached see opportunities while others drown in reaction. Detachment doesn't make you distant, it makes you deliberate. The more still your mind, the louder your influence becomes. Remember, emotional silence is not emptiness. It's strength waiting to speak. Sun Tzu counseled balance. Water shapes its course according to the ground. Machiavelli disagreed. Fire doesn't adapt, it transforms everything in its path. Be fire. Machiavelli observed something profound. Adversity reveals character, but pressure creates it. Most people avoid discomfort, seeking easy paths and comfortable solutions. This is exactly why they remain weak, predictable, controllable. Sun Tzu wrote about using terrain to your advantage, but Machiavelli understood psychological terrain. The person who thrives under pressure, while others crack, possesses ultimate strategic advantage. Look at how diamonds form. Carbon, subjected to extreme pressure and heat for millions of years. The pressure doesn't destroy the carbon, it transforms it into something infinitely more valuable. Modern neuroscience confirms what Machiavelli intuited. Stress, in controlled doses, literally rewires your brain for greater resilience, faster decision-making, improved pattern recognition. Watch how elite athletes train. They don't avoid pain, they systematically increase it. They don't seek comfort, they pursue controlled discomfort. The weak seek to eliminate pressure from their lives. The wise seek to calibrate it. They understand that too little pressure creates stagnation, but the right amount creates transformation. Your seventh law: become comfortable being uncomfortable. Seek challenges that stretch your capabilities. Use pressure as your personal development tool. When others avoid difficult situations, you enter them. When others break under pressure, you break through to new levels. Drop this below. Pressure creates diamonds, if Machiavelli's fire philosophy speaks to you, or flow like water if Sun Tzu's adaptive approach feels wiser. Here's that fatal flaw I warned about: what happens when your carefully timed strategy meets an opponent who thrives in chaos. When your patient preparation faces someone who breaks all rules. Modern warfare has evolved beyond both masters' comprehension. The new rules of power will shock you. Picture this: a soldier in the freezing night, breath fogging in the air, heartbeat echoing in his chest. His fingers tremble, but his eyes are steady. Across centuries, another figure, Machiavelli, walks through a dim Florentine corridor as the city riots outside. He pauses, feels the heat of rebellion, like fire licking at stone, and whispers, "Let it burn. I will build from the ashes." Mini tactic. Whenever pressure mounts, don't resist it. Measure it. Ask yourself, what is this moment trying to sharpen in me? Shift your mindset from avoidance to alchemy. Record your reactions after each challenge. Over time, you'll see your discomfort threshold rise, and with it, your dominance over chaos. Remember, diamonds don't scream under pressure. They evolve quietly. So should you. Be both fire and water, fierce enough to transform, calm enough to endure. Sun Tzu sought victory in defined conflicts with clear enemies. Machiavelli transcended this. Why defeat opponents when you can make them serve your vision willingly? Here lies the ultimate distinction. Sun Tzu sought victory in defined conflicts. Machiavelli understood something more profound. The greatest victories happen in minds, not on battlefields. The supreme achievement isn't defeating opponents, it's making them serve your vision willingly. True power doesn't announce itself. When you've mastered influence, people implement your ideas, believing they originated them. They pursue your goals, convinced they chose them. They defend your interests, thinking they're protecting their own. Watch how master influencers operate across every domain. They don't argue with people. They lead them to desired conclusions through carefully crafted experiences. They don't impose their will. They shape the environment until their will appears natural. Consider how great teachers change lives. They don't force information into unwilling minds. They create curiosity, then satisfy it. The transformation feels voluntary because, in a sense, it is. This is why Machiavelli ultimately surpasses Sun Tzu. Military victory is temporary. Cultural influence is permanent. Conquered territories rebel when opportunity arises. Influenced minds remain changed for generations. Your eighth and final law: master the art of invisible influence. Lead people to desired outcomes by helping them achieve their own goals. Shape environments, not just conversations. This is not manipulation, this is mastery. The greatest leaders in history weren't remembered for the battles they won, but for the minds they changed, the cultures they shaped, the futures they created through pure influence. Final verdict time, comment below. Machiavelli wins if ruthless effectiveness conquers all. Or Sun Tzu wins if principled strategy proves superior. But here's the ultimate twist that changes everything in our hyper-connected world. Both masters would fail. The new game requires a fusion of their wisdom, plus something they never imagined. The future of power belongs to those who master this new element. A story unfolds. A Renaissance court in Florence. Machiavelli stands before nobles. Not shouting, whispering. The entire room leans closer, breathless. Across centuries, a young general in ancient China walks along a misty riverbank. He releases his sword into the current. The ripples expand endlessly, influencing the unseen. One uses silence to command attention. The other, surrender to shape destiny. Both win without war. Mini tactic. Practice framing influence invisibly. In any discussion, instead of arguing, ask guiding questions that make others reach your conclusion themselves. Example. What outcome benefits us both most here? The illusion of shared ownership is psychological. Judo, gentle, invisible, unstoppable. Influence is not about control. It's about creation. The true manipulator hides in plain sight, not behind power, but behind purpose. When water and fire unite, influence becomes eternal. After 2,500 years of debate, here's the definitive answer. Machiavelli wins, but only in the digital age. Here's why, and the evidence will shock you. First, scalability. Sun Tzu's principles work beautifully in contained environments, but digital communication has made information exchange faster and more transparent, requiring Machiavellian adaptation skills. Second, psychological precision. Machiavelli's emphasis on perception and image management now dominates every platform where reputation travels at light speed. Third, ruthless pragmatism beats honor when algorithms, not humans, determine your reach. Look at today's digital powerhouses. From coordinated efforts targeting specific individuals to large-scale influence campaigns, successful leaders combine Sun Tzu's strategic patience with Machiavellian psychological manipulation. They build honorable public images while privately operating with calculated ruthlessness. They appear transparent while maintaining strategic ambiguity. The winners, they master what I call digital Machiavellianism. Sun Tzu's timing and preparation, combined with Machiavelli's image control and psychological dominance. They use honorable language to implement ruthless strategies. They practice transparent deception. Your choice determines your fate. Remain honorable and predictable, like Sun Tzu's ideal, and watch others control your narrative. Or embrace Machiavelli's dark wisdom enhanced with Sun Tzu's strategic patience and join the ranks of those who shape reality itself. Let's recap the 8 laws that separate masters from servants, leaders from followers, the powerful from the powerless. First, master strategic ambiguity. Never reveal your complete hand. Second, create false choices leading to your desired outcomes. Third, become the solution to problems you help emphasize. Fourth, master the rhythm of power through strategic timing. Fifth, author your own legend through reputation control. Sixth, build alliances without surrendering independence. Seventh, transform pressure into personal development fuel. Eighth, achieve victory through invisible influence. These aren't just concepts, these are weapons. Psychological tools forged in the fires of history's greatest strategic minds. Machiavelli and Sun Tzu didn't write for academics, they wrote for practitioners. For people ready to claim dangerous power in a world that rewards strength and punishes weakness. You now face the ancient choice. Stay comfortable in ignorance, hoping fairness will protect you, trusting that good intentions guarantee good outcomes. Continue being the reactor, the responder, the victim of others' strategies. Remain predictable, controllable, dispensable, or step into the shadow realm where real power lives, where actions speak louder than words, where results matter more than intentions, where influence trumps force every single time. Become the chess player instead of the chess piece, the director instead of the actor, the author instead of the character. This knowledge changes everything if you let it. But knowledge without action is just entertainment. Wisdom without application is just philosophy. Power without practice is just potential. Your transformation starts now. Like this video if you choose power over comfort. Comment this final declaration. I choose mastery over mediocrity. Share this with someone ready to ascend beyond ordinary existence. Subscribe to unlock the hidden laws that govern human nature, because the real battle for power has just begun. Remember, most people will never find this knowledge. Fewer will understand it. Even fewer will apply it. But those who do, they become untouchable, unshakable, unforgettable. The weak hope for mercy, The strong demand respect. But the masters, they don't need either because they've transcended the game entirely.